What's going on? It's Jackson back once again for a NFL draft profile as we're getting ready for the Senior Bowl. Things get underway on January 29th. I will be there along with some of the other great members here at Third Down Thursdays. MJ, Cy, Connor, whole bunch of the gang is going to be there. So it's going to be a lot of fun down in Mobile, Alabama. So we'll have some fun. But we'll get into that at another time. But now it's time to talk about a player I was really excited about when I first heard that he was going to be at the Senior Bowl because of the college career he was able to put up and being able to do it at two really high profile schools and with his potential to be a first round quarterback in the NFL. Who knows? Who knows? And that's going to be Mr. Bo Nix out of Oregon University. Had a fantastic, he started his career in Auburn in the SEC, Connor's SEC. Didn't put up the greatest numbers in the world. Had under 60% completion percentage. Never threw over for 3,000 yards. Just wasn't taking that next step you needed to see at the SEC level. And so after 2021, transfers over to Oregon, and that's where the star is born in Bo Nix. First year there, 3,500 yards, 29 touchdowns, 7 picks, completed 71% of his passes. Really, really good year. But here we are. The reason why he's going to go to the Senior Bowl, why he could potentially be a first-round quarterback, is because of 2023. Set the Oregon completion percentage record for 77.4%, 4,500 yards, 45 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a 91.2 QBR, and led Oregon to one of their best seasons in a long, long time. Obviously, they weren't able to get it done against Washington in the final Pac-12 conference championship game, but fantastic game and fantastic career at Oregon for Bo Nix. So you take a look at it, at what he can really do. He does a pretty great job of processing the field. Obviously, with Oregon, they ran a lot of RPOs this year, so he's had a really good mastery of RPO scheme. So if there's a team who runs a lot of RPOs and screens, Luke Getsy, I think you found your quarterback, by the way. You just find it somewhere else. But yeah, he does a really good job with manipulating defenses with his eyes. And he's got a good build for a quarterback in today's NFL. 6'2", 213. Great arm talent. He doesn't have the biggest arm strength in the world, but he plays on schedule. And that's one of the biggest and most important things, because we see a lot of quarterbacks who can make big plays, got a big arm, but can't necessarily play within the schedule of an offense. So the fact that Bo Nix can do that is going to be massive for his NFL career. But it's not all sunshines and daisies when it comes to Bo Nix. And the biggest weakness with him, he does not do well under pressure at all. His footwork gets jittery. He makes boneheaded decisions a lot. He also tends to force plays, especially when he's under pressure. He stares down his number one receiver a lot and telegraphs plays when he's under pressure. And if he's doing it at the college level, that's going to be something that scouts are going to, and front offices are going to take a look at the NFL level, when guys are faster, bigger, and in a lot of cases a lot smarter as well too. So it's something that's going to be a big hurdle for Bo Nix to overcome. But I wanted to show one of his plays from one of his best games, which was against USC this past season. Take a look here. Gets it out in a nice spot. Not the best throw, but Troy Franklin, absolute beast for Oregon this past season. Bo Nix's number one target. That was Tez Johnson. Just makes magic happen. But here's one there. This is 3rd and 13, back in your own 15-yard line. Gets the first down and just delivers the ball in rhythm, in movement, in a great spot for his player to make a massive play. There's Troy Franklin. Absolute machine out there for Oregon. So that's the biggest thing. He can play in rhythm. You get him a good supporting cast. I really think he could do a lot of damage in the NFL. There's some, in terms of his draft projection, there's been some wavering, at least with NFL Draft Buzz. They have him somewhere in the 35 range, so high second round pick, low first round pick. Daniel Jeremiah of NFL Network actually had him going to 14 to the New Orleans Saints to be the heir apparent to Mr. Derek Carr. That's a little interesting. I think it's a little high. I think the Saints have a lot of other needs, especially with an aging defense, but I definitely think for a team that doesn't need a QB right away, but could use one in a couple of years, let him sit behind a veteran quarterback, I think Bo Nix would be a really, really good choice. And there are a couple of players that come to mind with Bo Nix, but the main one I'm going to go with, and I think this is a good spot for him, is Baker Mayfield. I think they both have just enough athleticism to get the job done. And what we saw with Baker able to do in Tampa Bay, yes, turnovers were still a little bit of an issue, but he's able to play in rhythm with really good receivers and play within a structured offense, which honestly, after what we saw out of him in Carolina, I didn't think that was possible for Baker to do again. So I think that's a really good comparison. And honestly, if Bo Nix can have the consistency of 2021 Browns Baker Mayfield and 2023 Tampa Bay Buccaneers Baker Mayfield can have, he's going to have a really, really good NFL career. I don't think with that he'll ever be a top 10 quarterback in the league, but he'll always be an above average quarterback. So the ceiling may seem low in that regard, but I think a lot of QBs would love to have the career that Baker Mayfield has. So that's all I got for Bo Nix. Excited that he's going to be at the Super Bowl along with some other quarterbacks that some of my other guys are going to get or talk to you about, but should be a fun time. I can't wait to see all those guys at the Super Bowl. So once again, for TD Media, I'm Jackson Gross. Peace.